Did someone say afternoon tea in London? Count us in! If you're new here, hey, it's Alexandra from Time Off Request, and before our most recent trip to England, my sister Annetta did quite the afternoon tea research before we decided on Fortnum and Mason for our first ever high tea in London. We've experienced some afternoon teas in the United States, so we were super eager to experience it in its birthplace. So come along with us. First off, we took London's underground train, known as the Tube, to the Piccadilly Circus station and walked over to Fortnum and Mason's department store building. Through the doors, you're greeted with merchandise galore, so find your way to the staircase or lifts, elevators in British, of course, to head to the 4th floor for the Diamond Jubilee Tea Salon.
4th floor. Doors opening.
We made our way to the hostess stand, where they just had us wait a few minutes before being seated. Luckily, there was no issue seating us, even though we arrived 20 minutes before our set reservation. We made the reservation on Fortnum and Mason's website a few weeks before our trip, and it was super easy. Because of how popular this restaurant is, we definitely recommend making a reservation as soon as your dates are booked. They tend to be open every day of the week, and even for a 3 p.m. afternoon tea, it was still pretty busy in the restaurant. Once we got situated, we took a few minutes to study the extensive menu. You can select an afternoon tea, a savory tea, or high tea, as well as vegetarian, gluten-free, and children's tea. Of course, there's also a drink list and a cocktail list. The experiences for adults start at £84 and up. We selected one afternoon tea and one high tea, both of which came with their own individual teapot of your selected tea. As recommended, we also got a glass of Fortnum's champagne, the Blanc de Blancs, and then an Amelia, a specialty drink with the same champagne, but a bit extra with apricot and peach. Each of these cost an additional £19.50. Now it's time for the tea selection. Fortnum and Mason have been serving tea for more than 300 years, and Queen Elizabeth II officially opened the Diamond Jubilee Tea Salon in 2012. So yes, expectations were high. We went with the classic black teas. So one royal blend crafted in 1902, and then one teapot of the Queen Anne, created 5 years later. They were warm and cozy tea blends for a chilly London afternoon. And now, for the main afternoon tea finger foods course. Our tiered tray platters, very common for an afternoon tea, came out with all of the fixings. So both of us got the same scones and desserts, but different mains. Annetta picked the classic afternoon tea sandwiches, while I leaned more towards the high tea and picked a main, smaller entree. The British high tea historically came from the 18th century, from eating a hearty meal after a long workday. On the flip side, the British afternoon tea became popular thanks to the 7th Duchess of Bedford, Anna, in the 1840s. We sure were taking part in history that day. A staple starter for any afternoon tea are the scones. They come with an assortment of plain and in-season fruit scones served with Fortnum's strawberry preserve, orange curd, and clotted cream. The orange curd ended up being my favorite. Once we got my main entree, we dug in. The high tea comes with a few different options to choose from. I got the Cumbrian beef Wellington with pea puree and beef jus. And let me tell you, it was one of the most flavorful plates I've had in a while. Cooked to perfection, and it was just absolutely wonderful. For the afternoon tea menu, there were 5 different finger sandwiches. To start off, there was one egg mayonnaise, a coronation chicken, the Kames Bay smoked trout with dill cream cheese one, Then there was a Suffolk ham with English mustard, and the last one being a cucumber with lemon and mint. They each had their own specific flavors, but were pretty regular finger sandwiches in our opinion. As with any afternoon tea, you have to save room for dessert. The patisseries that came with each of our tiers were a rose eclair, an orange mousse, a dark chocolate with hazelnut praline, a coconut loaf, and a treacle tart. These change out with the season, but overall the flavors were rich and decadent. Everyone will have their own tastes, but hopefully one of the treats will be your favorite. We love to try a little bit of everything. Of course, only save room for what you can actually eat. We ended up taking our leftovers to go. No waste here. Overall, we really enjoyed the experience at the Diamond Jubilee Tea Salon. The service was phenomenal, and the afternoon tea experience was a delight. The salon itself was elegantly decorated, and we really enjoyed the ambiance. We would go back to have the high tea or for a special afternoon tea celebration. But one cannot visit Fortnum Mason without experiencing what it was truly intended for: shopping. The store has multiple floors to explore. For us, shopping is a cherry on top of the wonderful tea-filled afternoon. Just as the tea salon was on its own level, the other sections house everything you can hope for, all in one place. The third floor is where you can make your own hamper or picnic/gift basket, along with their cook shop and studio. The second floor is home to jewelry and accessories, with fragrances and other gifts. The first floor has home essentials, along with more picnic accessories. In case you're in the mood to get a whole dining set or a teacup and saucer souvenir, this is your spot. The main ground floor has all of the Fortnum Mason essentials. This is where you can grab your tea and biscuits to go, along with checking out the confectionery and other yummy consumable souvenirs. Although we didn't spend too much time in the lower basement level, there's a food hall there with some more giftable or higher end grocery items to go. Plus, there's even a coffee bar, wine bar, and restaurant. Honestly, you can get lost in the store, but there's something for everyone when shopping for souvenirs. The themes around there are spectacular, especially during any holiday season. We visited right before the Easter springtime season, and it's so cute seeing the classic English chocolate Easter eggs. Our favorite was the realistic chocolate bunny that was so adorable. We ended up grabbing a few tea boxes and biscuits to commemorate our afternoon tea, as well as some dog treats to surprise our furry ones waiting for us back at home. There were plenty of options to choose from. We hope you enjoyed coming along with us to Fortnum & Mason's Tea Room in London. If you like exploring new places and trying new things, make sure to subscribe to our channel and join the Time Off Request family. We'll see you in the next video. Toodles!